You would be hard-pressed to find another metropolitan area where opportunities for a quality music education are as plentiful as right here. In fact, one of the nation's most respected jazz educators is based at the University of Missouri, St. Louis. He's a man who realized his passion early on and overcame initial obstacles to his dream without missing a beat. That's him on bass. Jim Widner, Director of Jazz Studies and Artist in Residence at the University of Missouri, St. Louis. This was one of Widner's gigs with the St. Louis Jazz Orchestra, which he directs. The concert took place at the Two Hill Performing Arts Center in February of 2013. Widner also leads the Jim Widner Big Band, a group he started in conjunction with his summer jazz camps. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's look at Jim Widner's life in music from the top.
I grew up in southwest Missouri, Lebanon, Missouri, which wasn't exactly the jazz mecca of the world. I was raised by a single mom, which, before it was fashionable.
Widner was desperate to play in the school band, but his mother couldn't afford the instrument rental fee. The orchestra, however, was another story. Those instruments were loaned to students free of charge, so he joined the orchestra in the 8th grade.
They started me out on cello, and probably wasn't a real wise decision. I wasn't that good on it, but it kept me in the program. And then we had a change of directors. And he saw that, well, I've got enough technique there that maybe you'd make a pretty good bass player, because he needed bass players. And once I started bass, the love affair started.
That love affair intensified the first time Widner saw the high school jazz band.
And the director was he was the Cecil B. DeMille of his time, And he had the jazz band in the white tux coats and had stage and lighting and all that. And this is in a small gymnasium. And when the lights went out, and they hit those floodlights on the band, and they started out playing that thumping theme from Peter Gunn. And that was it. That's all of it. And I said, next year, I'm going to be in that jazz band. And I was.
Widner didn't have the money for college, so he was preparing to enlist in the Air Force and pursue his other dream, becoming a jet pilot. But at the last minute, his music teacher arranged for an audition at the University of Missouri-Columbia. It led to a scholarship and allowed Widner to get his bachelor's degree. He spent summers doing what thousands of other students of jazz did. He studied at one of the music camps established by the late legendary band leader Stan Kenton. That's Kenton at the piano and Widner on bass. The faculty consisted of professional musicians, many of them from the Stan Kenton Orchestra.
And the bass player on Stan's band at that time, John Wooster, had kind of taken me under his wing and really took care of me. And he was my first, professional teacher. And out of that came a lifelong friendship. And after I started ascending and working harder and practicing more and getting my, quote, chops together, for a couple of years, when he left the band, he actually had recommended me to come on the band. Well, talk about a scary proposition. When your first professional big band is the Stan Kenton Orchestra, is like, can it possibly get any better than this?
It did. After postgraduate work, Widner went on to have his own combos and perform in the Woody Herman and Glenn Miller big bands. And he taught in the Stan Kenton clinics for 10 years. But when Kenton died in 1979, his band and his music camps died too.
It was expressly written in his will there would be no Kenton Ghost Band. And everyone understood that. But after a while, I thought, why does the concept of the summer big band camps have to die? And so I waited about 9 years for someone to step forward that was probably more qualified than I to maybe put that back together, but no one did. And I thought, I can't go to that big band in the sky, I hope, without at least doing this. Something told me that this had to be done.
Widner rounded up some Kenton Big Band alums and started the first Jim Widner Jazz Camp in 1987. It moved to the University of Missouri St. Louis when he joined the faculty.
So if you have a C7, right? The basic is C, E, G, B flat, correct?
We stopped by a couple of sessions from the clinic back in 2011. Widner feels it's important to meet the needs of students in a variety of skill levels, teach them the joys of swing, and then experience it by listening to their instructors in the Jim Widner Big Band. This particular number features saxophonist Matt Schultz, who was an UMSL senior at the time.
I've gone to this camp 5 or 6 years in a row.
And he appreciated the advantages being in Widner's camp afforded.
Without him, I would never have gotten to play with like Clark Terry and Tom Scott and Buddy DeFranco and just a list of 20, 30 professional musicians that have come through town.
Clean. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
During the regular school year, Widner directs his student big band, the UMSL Jazz Ensemble. Here they're rehearsing tunes they performed as the opening act for the 2013 Greater St. Louis Jazz Festival, another brainchild of Widner's. The Spring Festival is organized in conjunction with Jazz St. Louis. And if anyone can appreciate Jim Widner's contributions, it's Jazz St. Louis Executive Director Gene Dobbs Bradford.
He's one of the most passionate and eloquent spokespeople for the big bands that he has. He really takes great pride in his students and their accomplishments, and will take any opportunity he can get or create one to make sure that they're showcased.
I know you know what that is. Each year, the Greater St. Louis Jazz Festival presents some of the biggest names in the business. In 2013, to name just two, singer Dee Dee Bridgewater and bassist Christian McBride. 'Cause it's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can tell you who to sock it to. Jim Widner himself has performed with some heavy hitters, like the late trumpeter Al Hurt, pianist Mulgrew Miller, vocalist Marilyn May. And look at this lineup. Buddy DeFranco on clarinet, Clark Terry on flugelhorn, Bill Allred on trombone, and Louis Belson on drums. Widner also plays occasionally with his boss, pianist and chancellor of the University of Missouri St. Louis, Tom George.
He's genuinely concerned about students learning to do music and just have it as a part of their life. I mean, recognizing that probably most of the students that are going through are not going to become professional musicians per se, but it's an important dimension to their life, and he really cares about students.
And what is it like just playing with him, just jamming?
Well, he's the best. And I can go in any direction, and he follows me, and then he'll curse going in directions I try to follow him. But I think he knows just about every tune there is.
The 25th anniversary of the Jim Widner Big Band is being celebrated with the 2013 release of its CD, And the Beat Goes On. And remember when we told you about Widner's dream to fly a fighter jet? Well, he got to ride in one courtesy of his son, a former jazz camp student who went on to a career in business. Now that Widner's a grandfather, will he pay it forward with his grandson too?
Now, like I said, with my little grandson, I've got to hang in there a few more years so he can come to Grandpa's camp. As Stan Kenton said, you got to pass the torch. You've got to, and in essence, that's what we're doing to the next generation. And like I said, if we don't pass it on, one of these days it's going to be gone, and we're not going to let that happen.